Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back with another interesting topic on Vedic astrology today. And we'll be talking today about the planet Sun and what Sun stands for, and how to relate with people who are dominated by Sun. And that's very important because we have relationships, all kind of relationships. You know, could be a friend, could be a father, a mother, an uncle, whatever. And the ancient sages have given us good amount of inputs about the planets, and once we understand the planets, we can deal with people dominated by those planets in a more effective way. We are all struggling with our relationships, and once we understand what the other person stands for, what is he all about, we can deal with him or her in a better way. So let's first understand what Sun is. And Sun has been described, and of course Sun is the main planet, and as per Vedic astrology, Sun is considered a planet, not a star, which the modern astronomy describes it as, is the chief amongst planet. We can see it visually that it's a ball of fire full of energy. So Sun has been described in the ancient sages as full of energy. And when you translate into the kind of people you see who are dominated by the planet Sun, he's been described as a person of a square built body. Okay, and his eyes have been described as bright, and they've been described as bright as wine. So that's how it has been described in the ancient scriptures. And of course it's a nature of Pitta, which is, you know, people are not familiar with Pitta, Vata and Kapha. You know, Pitta is a fiery constitution which affects us, a fire element kind of, which affects us in terms of our temperament, our body. So it's Pitta, full of fire and energy, and he has been described as something very beautiful and lovely. Okay, and also he's been described as having limited quantity of hair. So he is described as nice looking in terms of a woman, beautiful looking, and may not have very thick hair, you know. And sometimes men who are influenced by Sun can have receding hairlines as well. But even with that, even with the hair which may not be very thick, they've been described as very lovely, good looking people. And in general, people who are influenced by Sun, or the Sun planet itself, because Sun has been described as what the person who is influenced by the planet is, that he has mainly the qualities of goodness. And why all this is very important is because when we deal with people, you know, and we see, okay, well, we are in some kind of a relationship with that person, what is he all about? If he's influenced by Sun, I can trust him. He's reliable because he has the qualities of goodness that has been described in the ancient sages. So you'll not find people who are influenced by Sun. It could be any way. Maybe he's born in a nakshatra which is ruled by Sun, or maybe his lagna is influenced by Sun, his moon sign is influenced by Sun. So this good connection of the planet Sun with him, then you can infer or conclude that this person can be trusted. Of course, other tools have to be used, and other planets also have to be seen, conjunctions, aspects, all the other stuff has to be taken into consideration. Just don't blindly believe in this. Don't conclude that yes, he can be. But in general terms, yes, people who are influenced by Sun and who have a strong Sun in the birth chart, as far as their personalities, the way they think are concerned, they're trustworthy, because that's how it's been described in the ancient scriptures. And how to find, other than the way which we just discussed about, you know, the moon sign, the sun sign, the nakshatra, the aspects, how do we find if a person has a strong Sun or not? Well, one of the ways is he's exalted. Look at, the sun exalted position, which is showing that sun is extremely strong. And if it's in its own sign of Leo, it's very strong. And of course, where it is placed, again, just don't jump to a conclusion. You have to see where it is placed, what's the aspect conjunction, but general terms. And if it's an own decana, okay, he is considered to be strong. Okay, in its hora, if sun is in its hora, a person is born in the hora of sun, then sun is very strong. Sun is very strong in his weekday, which is the planet. Sun's weekday is Sunday. Okay, that's when sun gets strong. So people who are influenced by the planet sun in their birth charts, and you're dealing with them on a Sunday, that makes their qualities come out in a stronger and more prominent ways, so as to say. So then you have to deal with it accordingly. And coming back to the birth chart, if sun is in its own navansha, like we talk about Drakana, then sun becomes strong as well. Okay, during the middle of the day, sun is strong. So you'll notice that people who are having strong sun in their birth charts and who are influencing their temperament and personalities will come out stronger during the midday, during when the sun is around noontime or so, when the sun is right on top. That's the time where they'll excel and their qualities will come out more prominently. Okay, so you have to deal with that person accordingly. That he's in his full form. Maybe if it's a Sunday, he's in his full form. Midday Sunday, full form. Transits, whether sun is transiting in its exaltation sign or whether sun is transiting in its own sign. All these factors have to be taken into consideration when you deal with people who have a strong sun or who are influenced by sun, so as to say. Or if it's sun is placed in a friendly planet. And also you can see in terms of a transit whether sun is placed in the 10th house from his lagna or his moon sign. That's also when sun gets strong. So you can determine, but as a general rule, you have to see his birth chart and see how best you can come to a conclusion that this person is sun dominated, and how do you want to deal with him. And the other quality is he is kind of an egoistic nature, a very generous person, like a royal nature, a generous heart, although don't never ever hurt his ego. Okay, and especially during those times which I've just mentioned to you, as far as the weekday is concerned, Sunday, or midday, or when sun is transiting from his lagna into his 10th house, or it's transiting from its moon into its 10th house, or in its own sign or exaltation. All these factors have to be taken into consideration. Good astrologers, that's what they do. They use these tools. And of course, I'm not talking about a relationship in terms of choosing the right partner, but we are in a relationship by default, not by choice. Somebody who is influenced by sun, you may have a daughter who is influenced by sun, or you may have a friend or a boss or a colleague who's influenced by sun, and how to deal with that person. Okay, and that's very important. And then how you can figure out whether he's more dominated by sun is, I've already discussed that, what kind of a body he is, what kind of eyes you'll show, and then you can confirm that based on, if you can get a hold of his birth chart or her birth chart, that this person is mostly influenced by the planet sun. So you have to deal with him accordingly so that the relationship is good. So hopefully you enjoyed this video on the planet sun and how to form strong relationships with people who are influenced by the planet sun based on the information provided to us by the ancient sages. And in the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic on Vedic astrology very soon. Goodbye.